Lucky Boys Podcast.
Welcome to Lucky Boys Podcast. I'm Will.
And I'm Norm.
And today we have an interesting show because this is the first one that we're doing actually in 2021 in the new year. And already quite a few things has been happening. We got the riots over on
That's crazy.
Capitol Hill.
Insurrection.
We have Trump not going to Biden's inauguration.
Yeah.
Reported, but Vice President Pence
Was invited and he will be going.
Biden said he would be very glad to have him there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's also quite fascinating turn of events.
Yeah.
Obviously, for those of you who've been following the news, there's been some friction in the camp, and Trump and Pence may not be seeing eye to eye as the way it appears before.
So much. We have cryptocurrency going ballistic.
Yeah, it's picking up where it left off towards the tail end of 2020 in December.
Yeah.
Crypto, I believe, for the year, if you look back 12 months, I think Bitcoin's up as of today 400% within the last 12 months. And number two coin, Ethereum, over in cryptocurrency is up over 700%. And they're still rising.
Yeah.
The tide is still rising. And we'll get into all that fun stuff. But first,
we're going to take this opportunity to thank some of our Patreon members, Eric, Steven, Louis, and Don. Thank you for contributing and making this show what it is. You know, we're very appreciative because, you know, we're continually pushing to make better content. And thanks to you guys.
Yeah, and you know what? That also motivates us, whether it's $1 or whatever. It's just a gesture that makes us go, damn. It's like when you hold the door open for someone and they say thank you. You're just like, yeah, that's cool. Yeah. You know, versus when they don't, you're just like, damn, I should have never held that damn door open for your ass.
I mean, like, I never really think that. I was like, they don't say anything, then, you know, karma is going to hit them in the ass. So, but yes, this is, you know, it does help us make better content for you guys. So thank you very much. It
kind of makes me go, damn, like people are actually, number one, watching it. I mean,
watching, listening. And taking some,
and then going, yo, you know, taking time out the day to say, yo, I'm gonna send you a little bit, you know, it's not much, but this is what I can help you guys with, or, you know, thank you guys, and you know, it really means a lot. The action of it, not how much you're giving, but just the action of it just says something, and you know, thank you, certainly appreciate it.
Yeah, awesome.
So let's get into it, man.
Yeah.
What do you want to dive into first?
Oh, let's dive into the insurrection at the Capitol. That's what's happening. Okay. That's what's on the news, and that's crazy.
A few seconds into it, I'm like, whoa, wait. This isn't just a normal protest.
Yeah, normal protest.
Right. And then what looks like a riot. And then I see, you know, clips on social media where police officers are backing up. You know, they're retreating. And then you see members of the Senate locked in, barricaded into a room, a large conference room. Yeah. And having these big plastic bubbles around their head, I guess is for any kind of gas attack.
Gas, yeah.
Right.
If you saw some of the images from the news clippings and from social media, you saw that, like, you know, they were busting in. You see one cop who was, like, trying to get away from a group of rioters. And he's backing up with swinging, telling them to back up, but they just kept coming up the stairs, kept charging. And it was scary for him because he was throughout the whole clip. And there was some guy recording it from behind, but he was just alone by himself. So obviously he was scared and he was trying to find some backup, but backup wasn't there. And the crazy thing is, there was so low police presence. You kind of think like,
yo, that's crazy.
Yo, there's like some kind of inside job or some people called out specifically not to come in. It's insane.
Are there rumors of that?
There's rumors of that. Yeah, there was rumors where there were the National Guard was asked to come in, but they decided last minute, 3 days before, that it's not necessary.
Who?
Because the Capitol Police they were presented for additional backup.
So they gave that order like, hey, don't go.
We don't need it. We don't need the additional backup. That's the Capitol Police. Yeah, that's insane. In addition, I mean, I've heard.
Wait, is that a fact or is that just a rumor? Is that conspiracy?
No.
Like,
That's a fact. They denied additional bodies to protect or just guard the Capitol building.
why shouldn't that be investigated?
It is being investigated.
Is it?
Yeah, it is being investigated. There's some gross negligence that happened where there weren't enough protection during the protests. I mean, there was more protests during the Black Lives Matter marches than it was here. Way
Bro,
more.
can you imagine if it was a BLM protest there?
I think there will be more deaths. More
Without
people-
a doubt,
yeah.
more deaths, way more arrests, and it would have been instant arrests.
and more aggressive policing.
Bro, there would have been tanks.
There'll be tanks, tear gas. Yo, it's insane the double standard.
In order, there was tear gas. Yeah,
I mean, let's go back to the Black Lives Matters protest. They were prepared. They had police with militarized gear ready to stop any deterrence. When you have this, pro-Trump rally where you saw people wearing bulletproof vests, they were carrying weapons, they had IEDs planted. That's insane to me.
that's scary.
That is scary.
Yeah, I heard there was like a van full of it.
Oh, a van? I heard there were like
Or-
book bags around the DNC and RNC offices, like planted right outside the building. So it was really
how could
close
they get
to the
away
Capitol
with
building.
that and just march right in with the Confederate flags and go into Pelosi's desk, taking a piece of letter? How did they get away with that?
Not just taking.
And then posting on social media, being braggadocious about
Right.
it, thinking that nothing's gonna happen to you.
That's insane. I didn't say
Just
that.
the privilege
the
that involved
audacity.
with that, and the audacity and the entitlement.
Did you see video clips of people who broke into the chamber? They were actually taking photos of documents.
No.
Yeah, and they were taking documents from the chambers. So you have to understand, like, what are they taking pictures of? What are they taking away from the chambers? Is this important to our democracy that this is happening?
I'm curious to how this will play out in regards to what measures will be taking into punishing the people who broke the law. Now, I understand the protests. They have every right to protest
Yeah.
and be there just with any other protest. But then to break in somewhere and considering where they broke in and how they broke in and the vicious attacks. I mean, didn't a police officer die?
Yeah,
Then they drag him out and beat him?
yeah.
To
He
that?
died of his injuries at the hospital.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I mean, there's other deaths too, but some were like emergency, like they had a heart attack or something. But there was a woman, a protester, a rioter, who tried to go through a window and then she got shot and she died as well. So that's unfortunate. That should never happen.
Right.
But people did get hurt. And the crazy thing is, like, from what I've been reading, there were off-duty cops and military personnel.
Firefighters.
They were part of the riot, and they actually flashed their badges trying to get in. Some were taking selfies with the on-duty police officers, Capitol Police, that were there.
What do you mean something like they were smiling too, the police officers
Yeah.
that were on duty, like, hey,
Yeah, like it's all good,
we're buddies?
buddy,
And what?
buddy.
That's crazy.
And you have like it's just suspicious to me is that were they part of this, or were they just gross negligent and just like, okay, we didn't think anything of it. They were peaceful at that point, and then they wanted to just come closer, so we let them in. They were flashing badges.
Right there is just a show of two Americas, and the crazy part is both sides think they're on the good side and the other side is evil. That's the crazy thing. Like, they're not purposely trying to be evil. In their minds, they think that they're the good guys and that they've been jerked. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, they're not trying to be evil.
They really believe what they believe.
They believe that they're fighting for
Yeah.
justice and good against the evil that are rigging the system. So they're going hard at it.
Yeah, but
Right? I'm just trying to play a little,
psychology behind the thinking of why this happened.
inherently they think that they're doing the right thing,
Right.
even though it's clearly wrong.
Right.
Even though it's clearly wrong. But enough of them get together and they're in this echo chamber of news telling them that, yo, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
And that your votes,
It was stolen.
It was stolen, and we won the election. So we're thinking our team has lost when our team was supposed to win, and the refs were playing for the other team, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
And so they're gonna, this is their protest, but that would have been fine. Protesting is fine, but to take it to that level where they're just embarrassing the government, going in there as a show of force, like it has never been done before, terrorizing the place.
This is the first insurrection in U.S. history.
Killing a police officer?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Just imagine if that happened in BLM. That's...
Oh, it's over.
Yeah, it's over.
It's over.
There'll be like lockdown. Total lockdown.
It's
martial
over.
law in D.C. But the thing is, like, I personally don't think that this riot would have happened. I mean, there would be protests, there would be talks of, insurrection, but action wouldn't have been taken if the president, Trump, the leader of the free world, didn't go on national TV to say like, hey,
and instigate
this. And
so that's why he's been banned from like everything. He's been banned from Reddit, Twitter,
Pinterest. Come
Spotify.
on. Yeah.
Bro.
The only thing that's available to him is OnlyFans, and
right.
you have to get
App
a membership.
Store, Parler. I didn't even know about Parler.
I didn't know about Parler either. This is where all the right wing.
So what is Parler for those?
It's a social media communications tool
for the right, for the extreme right.
Well, the majority of people who use it are right wing extremists. Right. So, and everything, and basically Amazon. I mean, like, it goes off servers of Amazon. So Amazon is basically saying, no, we won't store your data anymore. All
right, so let's get into that. Right, let's get to the point where people are going, because there's two sides to this now. They're going, all right, with the whole Twitter banning and all, every other company, major fortune company on social media feels like it's their social responsibility to cancel Trump and limit his reach. So they're basically taking away his what's that thing? The megaphone, right?
The megaphone.
They're taking away his megaphone. Still has a voice, but they're taking away his megaphone. He has about a week left in office before Biden gets inaugurated, and they're just trying.
And there's a whole nother issue. They wanna take the 25th Amendment and have him resign, fire his ass.
Right, so that he can't run again for 2024. If the president is impeached, they won't be able to run again, because you better believe in 2024 Trump is coming back. He's coming back. Like, he is not going away. All right. So they're trying, I guess. But then think about it. If you impeach him, it's a double-edged sword, though. Let's say they are able to do that. Can you imagine the uprising? The however X amount of percentage of America that voted for him, it's going to be crazy. We're going to be in for a wild ride if that happens.
But the thing is, it's always been a wild ride. I think it's
going to be even crazier, is what I'm saying. Think about it. If they're going, my God, because if you're taking away their hope. If Trump is allowed just to finish his term, they're going, all right, bitch, in 4 years, we're going to get him back in office stronger than ever. Right? But if you impeach him and he can't run again in 4 years in 2024, you took away their hope.
I think it's
their
more
savior. They're going to go hard.
I think it's more dangerous to have him have that microphone, the megaphone, than just like not actually have him.
Well, that's why a lot of these companies shut him down. But what I'm saying is, if you impeach him and you take away
that hope,
they're gonna. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of. This is only going to be the beginning.
I'm sure there's going to be a lot of resentment,
because those people they're not going to be quiet. They're going to push back.
They won't be as strong. They needed someone to be on their side, specifically the leader of the free world.
What I'm saying is that there's groups out there, and if Trump gets impeached, there's going to be a group that's going to want to use that as fuel to build power in a large coalition of people.
Yeah.
To fight against a common enemy.
Yeah.
That they built.
I think that's going to happen either way. Either way, I rather.
With hope that at least they say they can't fuck shit up until 2024. That's what I think, right? If you impeach Trump, then they have hope. At least we could get him back in power. We'll be back driving the car. We'll be back cruising the ship. We'll be the captain of it. But if you take away that, they're gonna go crazy. I think.
Well, I see it.
What
as
do they have
like,
to lose?
Well, I see it like the double-edged sword, right? So it's sort of like you take off the head. If you take off the head, it might not grow back. This enemy, this creature, this monster will not grow back. That's the way I see it. But there's also
I think
the other
you take
point.
off the head. I think something else
Another will
comes
grow.
up. Yeah, I mean, we just saw what we saw on Capitol Hill. I mean, it was absolutely insane.
Yeah, but when you cut the head off, it's gonna slow things down. It might grow back, and it might, something else might take its place, but you're gonna slow the process. And in that process, I strongly believe that we'll have, if we continue fighting this, we'll have a lead into fighting all this, this negativity, all this racism. It's not gonna go away, but we can slow it down.
I think muting him slows it down. Muting him, but the point is to stop something. You want to prevent something to ever happening like that, right? I just don't believe that that's the way. It's going to. We're just kicking the can down the street. Eventually it'll catch up to us. We're just gonna have to face it head on. So I mean, I don't have the answers.
Well,
it's not that simple.
I want it to happen that him to get impeached, but it's not going to happen. He only has 2 weeks left in office. It's
less,
but, yeah,
like a week left. But here's the thing: how do you feel about the major platforms being able to restrict his speech?
With Trump, it's sort of like you have to throw all these like rights out the window almost. Because he created this whole like different reality where he's using it to cause damage to our livelihood. So I mean, honestly, like when it comes to free speech, and I'm proponent for free speech, and we spoke about this like in depth about how comedians say shit and then they get canceled, and I'm like, they're comedians, so what? But when it comes to like a situation where people are getting hurt and you see destruction, I honestly think in Trump's particular case, he's a special animal. Like I can't speak for anyone else, but this guy is, I don't know, man. I think for his particular case, take away his free speech.
Isn't that a slippery slope?
Yeah, it is. It's
very dangerous.
I'm very cautious when I say that.
Because now that they can do that, and and I get it. It's a private company. They're able to do whatever they want. If you don't follow their terms and conditions, I get it. I'm not saying that or I'm just the idea of America that we should be able to speak against our government if we're not feeling it.
Of course.
Right?
Yep.
We should be able to speak against corporations. We should have the freedom. That's what makes America, that we can voice our opinion and not get arrested for it or death sentence or whatever. We could get canceled. I get that, right? But we should at least be able to express ourselves for better or worse.
I wholeheartedly agree with that.
And taking away Donald Trump's ability to do that, doesn't that go against what we stand for as a I shouldn't say as a company, but as a country?
There has to be some.
If we're going to put a filter on him,
there has to be some sort of repercussions to what he did. There's a difference between free speech, where you're expressing your opinions, and there's a difference between inciting and giving instructions to people to cause damage to our livelihood. I mean, there is a fine line, right? But then when I think about like Hitler and World War II, Hitler and the Nazi Party, they fucking used the propaganda to their advantage.
Right.
Okay?
So here's the thing: what if the other side does that though? Right? Wouldn't they be able to push their agenda and promote certain propagandas that are within their interest?
Of course. it's been happening from both sides anyway.
Right. So
to push their agendas.
One of the first steps I've ever seen, so many companies did to shut someone down.
Yeah. If all these companies, these competitors, they agreed to shut this guy down, there has to be something wrong, right? There has to be something wrong. If all these companies, Facebook, Twitter, all these social media companies like TikTok, they're all shutting him down. Come on.
Here's the irony.
Come on.
Here's what's funny is that Trump was trying to shut TikTok down.
He said, I'll shut you down.
And TikTok shut Trump down.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
It's a bit of irony in life,
Oh,
but that's beautiful. I think it's actually beautiful.
Oh, that's
ironic
poetic.
beauty of it. Yeah.
Isn't that poetic justice?
Yes.
Oh man, crazy stuff, man. I'm not. I want to make it clear. I'm not for spreading hate on social media, but I am for freedom of speech.
Yeah, me too.
And I just don't know where that line is because I don't want hate to be spread and wrong messages where people aren't properly educated from either side, right? And then the end result is that a lot of people get hurt and could have been easily avoided. I don't know if this is the right thing to do. Well, short term, it looks like it's the right thing to do. Short term, it looks like, yo, shut his fucking accounts down. Shut him the fuck up. Look what the hell's going on, right? He only has a few more days in office, and who knows what the hell he's gonna do. He's so unpredictable. So let's just shut him down, right? That's one. But then it can start down a very slippery slope. Like, oh, let's shut this guy down too. Let's shut this guy down too. And then what are we gonna do? And then now we could put laws into place where people can't, very loose laws that are vague in their construction or the literature, and start putting people where we can crucify them just for saying something or having an idea. So we're gonna go backwards now. That's what I'm afraid of. That's my concern. It's a slippery slope. Like, how do we determine who we're going to silence? Whose freedom of speech we're going to take away if they're not breaking any laws?
So you think that Trump didn't break any laws? I mean,
I'm
obviously.
No, Trump is, we both agree,
right,
where we stand on that. But what I'm saying is a slippery slope, because now that we've done this, now we could do something else. We could begin to cancel other people. Yeah. And it's already happening. I mean, didn't they do that with Alex Jones, and where they shut down every single one of his social media accounts? Yeah, because his interviews, he was peddling false information and disinformation and stuff like that. But the thing is, I think there is a slippery slope once you put laws into place to censor people. I mean, censorship. I believe that people will always fight back and to question those censorship laws. I mean, no matter what, it could be like Edward Snowden releasing secrets to the public, military secrets to the public, because the government was spying on us, right? So through our own technology. So there will be people who will counteract that kind of censorship. It's just that, I go back to this case, when you censor a particular person like Trump, I go back to an incident, what happened at the Capitol. The Capitol Police, he was a black man. He's a black man. And when he was running away from those rioters, they were calling him derogatory names. They were calling them N-word. And so if Trump is the person who incited an incident like that for a person to fear for their life, then he should be canceled. He should be restricted from these platforms. It's a case-by-case basis, I think. But in this particular case, he should be canceled. Common sense in the short term, that makes incredible sense, right? Yeah. And it seems like it's the right thing to do. Something has to happen though. But in the long term, if we start moving the needle or the goalposts every single time, and we make exceptions, or we get to start picking and choosing on what ideas we want to promote and leave behind, that can become very dangerous within itself as well. Yeah. So short-term win, long-term lose, question mark? It's a question about right and wrong, I think, in this case.
it could be slippery slope when it comes to being how legal it is to censorship. But 2021, what do we expect?
2021. So far we got that, and we also have cryptocurrency, and it's been booming. So if you got skin in the game, you're probably
Super happy, jumping up and down,
happy, and
popping champagne.
I guess that's when we entered sort of what they call a bull market, and that's when the tides are rising. Your investments, so to speak, are going up. The value of it, whether it shares of a company or coins within a cryptocurrency, are worth more per coin, per share. And there's analysts out there like Citibank, Morgan Stanley, that predict Bitcoin being worth north of $100,000, specifically 300,000, 400,000.
Can I just say,
Within
that's a lot of hype.
Within the next 12 months.
Okay.
Within this,
that's a lot of hype.
Within this bull cycle,
I believe crypto is going to hit 100K.
it broke, and
But
just the cryptocurrency's market cap broke $1 trillion for the first time
Yep, for the first time. Yep.
ever. So history, again, has been made already. 2021.
But this started like you mentioned in December, but it also started when the SEC started investigating XRP. So you saw that kind of bull run happen starting with Bitcoin and Ethereum. It started to rise significantly right after you saw XRP being like investigated, delisted.
Well, I think it was moving up before that. It was moving up before that. I believe Bitcoin broke its all-time high, 20,000 prior to that. And I think, that's a major blow for those invested in XRP. Because when that news did come out, it did sink some of the other cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin kind of stalled out. It kind of broke the momentum of the crypto world, because everybody was like, whoa, wait, what the hell's going on? If the SEC is getting in this, are the coins that I'm invested in, the other cryptocurrencies, also impacted? I think that was the initial feeling for those kind of, I guess, what they call normies, people that
Normies?
like corporate folks that's not hardcore into crypto, but just kind of investing it as a insurance, as a just in case it goes wild. Like they have a certain percentage of their portfolio, albeit very small,
not institutional investors.
Right. So, and I think initially when during the last bull run in 2017, most of the normies were heading into XRP.
Okay.
Right. So they might have diversified. I'm pretty sure most people do within Bitcoin, other altcoins, and altcoins are basically anything that's not Bitcoin. Right. So when that news hit, XRP took an extreme nosedive. I believe it was worth as high as 70 cents, 78 cents, something like that. And then it dropped to the 50s. And then I think with the news, it went as low as 17, 18 cents.
Yeah, around 20. Yeah, around
right?
under 20
And I
cents.
think, but what's crazy is like now it's back up to mid 30s.
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
Right.
I don't know who else is buying.
No, there's people saying that's market manipulation, like some insiders just manipulating that price. But who knows?
But the thing is, like the SEC is investigating. We don't know for a fact if it's going to be wiped out. I'm
Right.
sure the technology is still there.
I don't think it'll be wiped out.
Yeah, it's still
there's too much money involved. I mean, it's still the number 4 coin by market cap. Right? I mean, I think Litecoin went into there for a hot second, but gave it back up as of today. I don't think XRP is going to be wiped out unless the SEC is going full court press on them. What I find interesting, I think the head of SEC that put the lawsuit in front, retired the next day.
Well, that was his crowning achievement,
like
for retirement.
What? Like, what's the point of that?
It's kind of suspicious,
That's a little
weird.
strange.
Yeah, it's strange.
Like one final blow before I leave, I'm going out with a bang, and I'm going for this specific one. I'm curious as to why. What the hell happened inside? Like, why did they choose? I mean, there's other altcoins that are pretty sketch.
Yeah.
And why did he choose XRP, top 5 coin?
The reason why this is being investigated is because they believe, SEC believes that Ripple should be a security, not a
Right,
cryptocurrency.
because they used it to raise funds and they profited from it.
Yeah.
And they cut deals with certain banks and sold it to them for cheaper price rather than below market value.
Yeah.
So they found some things that they felt were sketchy, and I guess the CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, felt differently, and he pushed back.
Yep.
Saying, well, just about other coins did this as well. And this is completely normal in this space. And he has other arguments on top of that. They can go deeper, but there is a lawsuit still pending. But what's interesting is the new administration coming in supposedly is very crypto friendly. So they may be eventually just have a settlement outside of the courts, and that things will go back to normal, business as usual, and they maybe will go on an epic bull run.
But it's so crazy to me that it's
shitcoin or not, because
right.
Most people in the cryptocurrency, when we had Doug here, says he believes XRP is a scam coin.
Yeah, I mean,
but I think it's gonna go if the lawsuit gets settled.
Yeah,
and they're not battling with the government, I believe it'll rise higher than what the price is today at 30 cents.
Then what happens to the people who that had already XRP in exchanges? You know, a bunch of exchanges.
A bunch of
exchanges already delisted it, right? So there's a whole bunch of other lawsuits happening directly with those exchanges, right? The biggest one, Coinbase, recently delisted it. So what's going to happen with that? It's just so crazy to me. I get the investigation part, okay? But it's not concluded. So nothing has been solidified yet. But why are these exchanges already not waiting for any results of the investigation? They just basically, hey.
Because they don't want no beef with the government. You want beef with the government? Look, Coinbase, what are they about to do?
Go public.
Their IPO's coming out.
IPO's coming up, guys.
Right. So Coinbase IPO's coming out. They're about to be a publicly traded company. Why would they want any smoke with the government? Why would they want anything, any friction? Of course they're going to play ball with the government. Oh, you don't like XRP? Well, all right, we'll delist it. You know, they of course they want to have a successful IPO. They have to look out for their own interests. Even though I think XRP makes up for over 10% of Coinbase transactions, but
very small.
10% is significant for a company. That's a significant number.
Yeah,
actually, it could make or break a company. 10%. It could really. I mean, not break, but that's a major.
It was the top 3 coin in the exchange, right?
Yeah. But I think the way they analyze is like, all right, people, if they're not buying XRP, they're probably going to move into Ethereum, Bitcoin, or other cheaper alternatives. Yeah, which exactly what's been happening, because after the dust settled from what's going on with XRP, you see Ethereum, Bitcoin, and other altcoins rise heavily. Yeah, all-time highs. Like, holy cow. Yeah. Right? And XRP kind of just stay within that pocket between 20 and 30 cents, 35 cents, anywhere there. Yeah. Yeah. Who knows? But there's also rumors like this was an inside job where they're trying to get people. This is coming from one of my friends who is really hardcore XRP guy. Yep. Got me to go, okay, wow, looking into XRP further, but he thinks that
it's coming back.
Yeah, that they're making you sell and it sounds a little crazy. I'm listening to myself repeat this, and it sounds a little crazy, but I've seen crazier things happen. They think that they purposely put this news out prior so that banks and larger investors can get it for a cheaper price before, this whole bull run, right? So it doesn't go up with the other coins. They consume it at a cheaper price and then put it back. So they delist. The theory is once it gets delisted from all these exchanges and it makes it difficult to transact in it, that's when the lawsuit will settle and they have accumulated or filled their bags, air quotes, and then they'll put it back out in the public once the price is up.
That makes total sense. It's, to me, it's still a gamble. You know,
That's pretty damn elaborate, though.
it is elaborate, but then it's been done. You know, pump and dump. You know, kind of schemes and stuff like that. But I think there's a possibility that is the case. It's just that when you invest into cryptocurrency, to me, it's still a gamble.
Absolutely, absolutely. You're betting that your horse is going to win the race.
Yeah.
You know, and prior to this whole SEC thing, I mean, XRP was, that army was, boy, it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. Now it's still there, but I think that they've gotten a little quiet because they want to see how this plays out.
It was the number 2 coin.
Either that, a lot of them at one point, but it was very, very short.
Yeah.
And during the 2017 bull run, right? And I think at one point, people thought that XRP would take over the whole game. At one point, right? Especially the XRP army. But what I think a lot of people did once the SEC news hit and all the other coins were rising and XRP wasn't rising with it, it was either staying still or going backwards. I think a lot of people say, you know what, as an investor, I'm going to make a smart decision until we get further clarification. We're going to sell our position, or with the extra money that they have to invest, go into other investments like Ethereum, Bitcoin. I think Cardano had a huge shift, huge growth in their coin because of XRP. A lot of the folks that were in XRP either sold their coins or transitioned it to Cardano, ADA.
I personally transitioned. I mean, I didn't get into Cardano, but I did transition more specifically and focused on Bitcoin and Ethereum, because I think the top 2 coins, it's always been the top 2, and I think it's definitely there is going to be a bull run. I'm very skeptical.
Let's give a prediction at the end of this segment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Bitcoin, I mean, there's no surprise there. It's a king. I think it's going to reign supreme for a long time. And Ethereum, I look at it like it's the prince. You know, it's right there. It's right there. When the king dies,
will it die though?
There will be a new king. Oh yeah. Bitcoin.
It has the oldest.
I think not anytime
technology.
soon.
Yeah.
I think it's going to go bonkers. I think it's going to break 100K. Right. I really think it's going to break 100K, and later on I'll share with you exactly where I think it'll land within the next 12 months. But I think in due time, eventually, Bitcoin will break 100K per coin. Ethereum, I think, will break all-time highs and perhaps even double their all-time high within the coming months. Okay, and we'll give more insight into that later. And right now, we can explain why. So Bitcoin, I think, is a household name. You have MicroStrategy, Square, PayPal, huge institutions, Grayscale, Van Eck looking to build an ETF fund into this space, and even corporate talks of corporations taking part of their treasuries out to convert into Bitcoin. People's mothers, cab drivers.
There's a whole market.
They have an idea of what Bitcoin is. They may not know the ins and outs, but they have an idea of what Bitcoin is. They know that people transact in it. Now, they don't have clarification whether it's a scam or whether it's something that's it's a lottery ticket or a store of value. I mean, people have different perceptions depending on your knowledge on how much you've looked into this. But what we do know is that Bitcoin is the most popular coin for now.
Yep.
But what I think Ethereum this year will be a household name as well.
So you're saying that Ethereum is not a household name right now, just
not,
for the
not
general,
to the level of Bitcoin,
for the general investor,
not to the level of Bitcoin.
Yeah,
I think right now, I think Ethereum is more for people that are into crypto, people that are aware of the cryptocurrency game, people that are building on Ethereum. I think those people are, or anyone that's invested in the cryptocurrency game, got some Ethereum in their portfolio. Now, if you're talking about the people that are outside the game, from the outside looking in or looking to get maybe 1 or 2% in their portfolio, just a little bit, they're not really looking at Ethereum as strongly as they probably should.
Yeah.
Right. I think with Bitcoin, it's just a household name. It's the one that everyone's looking at. It's the shiny toy that's standing out right now.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that right now, I think Ethereum is shinier, but it's just covered right now. People aren't really seeing it because Bitcoin's a little bit.
Yeah. It's like the
been
truffle
buffed
mushroom
up.
that's like covered in dirt.
I can't go into like an engineer could, but if you look into it, you can just do. It's a lot more versatile.
Right.
In terms
There's
of
a lot
building
of
smart contracts. And,
the technology behind it and the applications.
right.
A lot of different industries can actually build on top of Ethereum technology.
Right.
And it doesn't hurt that, not going back to Bitcoin, right? It doesn't hurt that Elon Musk is saying that he'd rather get paid in salary in Bitcoin.
And we had the football player. He signed a contract, and they're paying him in Bitcoin.
Oh yeah, that's right. I heard
It's going straight into a cold storage.
Yeah. I heard a lot of criticism of that because of the fact that he's putting all his eggs in one basket. The fact that he's like all in, getting his salary.
I'm not hating on him. Maybe he sees the future.
Maybe
Because you know what? I heard people talk a lot of shit about Bitcoin back in 2013, 2015, 2017. Because every time there's a new wrinkle to the game, right? People are like, oh, come on, what are you, stupid? Anything that's against the grain, you're going to have everybody that's with the grain kind of look at you in a funny way. So I'm not really against someone that's thinking against the grain. They're going, hey, I'll pay me in Bitcoin. You know what? There's a bar owner in New York City on the west side over on 10th Avenue, right? He's selling 2 of his bars, and the deal has to include 2 bars. And as of today, he put it on the market, and he goes, I'm willing to sell both my bars for 25 Bitcoins or 800 Ethereums.
Or 800.
800 Ethers, yeah.
Oh,
ETH,
wow.
yep.
He would not take any cash and basically
He's
take some stock.
He's willing, for you to pay him in
Very bullish on that.
cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
In cryptocurrency. He's true.
That's the guy who's super bullish and putting all that.
Yeah, look, cryptocurrencies is the future. I strongly believe it. I don't think these guys are making a terrible business decision. In fact, I think that they're the early adopters into this game, and if they are able to continue on this path, I think within 5 to 10 years, they would see monstrous gains. Monstrous gains from their decision to settle these payments in Bitcoin or Ethereum.
I don't disagree with the fact that I think cryptocurrency is the future. It's just the value put on the particular coins. The technology is going to change the future. I know that. But I'm more skeptical about the value of the coin.
Why?
We had bull runs. We had crashes. I just feel like this will be another bull run. There will be another crash. Eventually, it will hit that 100K, 400K mark.
Right, but they're looking at the long game. There will be ups and downs.
Yeah.
But just like fiat currency, there's ups and downs. And right now, fiat is going down with the printing of the money.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there was just rumors that there's going to be another 2 to 3 trillion printed.
Fiat money is not backed by gold anymore. That's hasn't been done since the 1970s or something.
Because the argument for cryptocurrency, or against it, I should say, is that they can make more, print more, or hit a button on a computer and generate more Bitcoin, Ethereum, or XRP, and that's not true, right? So, but that same argument for fiat, they can just go to the printing press and print out more money. So what do you think? If they're able to do that, wouldn't that make your dollar worth significantly less?
Yeah, that's why there's inflation.
So wouldn't you be scared if someone could actually hit a button and create more Bitcoin in the market, depressing the value of it? That would be concerning, wouldn't it? Wouldn't you sell your positions?
Yeah.
So it makes sense to me that someone's looking at that in fiat and going, hold on, you can just press a button anytime you want and fill the market with all this money.
Right.
No.
Fiat
I need a proper store of value.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I understand gold, silver, whatever, but wherever you want to put it, it's probably not a good idea to put it in an asset that is
duplicated
or
replicated.
It's being debased.
Right.
It's the value of it's being worth less. Now, is money worthless? No. But when you print it like that, it's being worth less.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a bar.
Well, that's also how much do you put a lot of faith into the government that's printing the money, right? So if you really know that, okay, the U.S. government is printing all this cash, which is true, but it's backed up by the U.S. government. So your faith is really based on like, okay, is the government going to, is strong enough to keep printing all this money? Because the U.S. is in debt, trillions of dollars in debt. So the cash is just a piece of paper that you have faith in, which can be used to buy things.
Sure, but if you continue to print cash like that, the value of the U.S. dollar is going to go down. And it has been going down against other currencies around the world.
Yep.
So Americans are looking like, all right, so what if I want to transact or buy something? The world is getting smaller with international e-commerce. People are shopping in China, France, UK, Australia, and vice versa. There's a lot of trade going on, import and export. And if I go try to buy something in Canada, and now the Canadian dollar is worth more, or whatever, another country's currency, and I'm going, damn, so how come it costs me more as a U.S. citizen to buy something more now? So for them, when the dollar's down here, it might be good for them to, and their dollar's stronger or their unit of currency stronger. The good thing about that for U.S. companies or anybody in a position is that now people from outside will want to come and purchase things in America.
Right. Their store of value, or their dollar is worth more here.
Right. So it goes further. So essentially they're getting a discount. So they may want to look into our real estate or e-commerce or whatever it is, right? Maybe cheaper for them to purchase things. And that within itself could help the U.S. economy. Mm-hmm. Just looking at a silver lining here. Yeah. Right. That within itself could help improve.
More goods sold, more revenue being made in the U.S.
Right. And at the same time, encourage more people to invest further into
the U.S. economy,
into Bitcoin. Right. Yeah. Because they're going, whoa, my dollar's worth less. Let me put this in Bitcoin. Let me put it in gold. Mm-hmm. But then I think last week gold went down significantly, over 10% in a day. Yeah. And I think it's because I think a lot of them sold their positions in gold and moved it over to Bitcoin. And a lot of large whales in the game sold their positions in gold, maybe not all of it, but or silver, and moved it into Bitcoin.
I know the price for gold has decreased, but as a smart investor, you want to diversify. You don't want to put your
so that's a MicroStrategy.
Well, MicroStrategy
they went all in.
Yeah, they went all in. They bought like a Bitcoin from their investors.
Yeah, for any investors in their funds that wanted to get out of Bitcoin, they bought them out.
Yeah.
And then they went on the market and bought some more, and they just had this, whatever that guy's playbook is. I mean, yeah. So he more than doubled. So. Holy cow.
There will be some crypto millionaires millionaires being made off this bull run.
If he keeps up with this, it's going to be trillion.
Yeah.
Depending, I don't know how many Bitcoins they have, but there must be a lot of zeros.
Yeah, I think was it in the tens of thousands of Bitcoin that they own now, right? 60,000. I don't want to speculate, but I've read something where it's around that number.
So what's your prediction? Bitcoin at its highest point in 2021 is going to hit
Bitcoin 2021. It's gonna fall within the range of 80 to 100K. Now, for it to get to that 400, some analysts say like 400K. Honestly, I think it's hype. I don't think it's going to do that in 2021. I think it's going to definitely.
That's the Winklevoss twins,
Yeah,
the guys that
I don't know,
co-founded.
man.
Well, I think they co-founded Facebook, right? Or
Well,
supposedly.
they supposedly.
I know there was a lawsuit on that.
Yeah, they supposedly started a Harvard networking site, which came to be Facebook
They say, I think $400,000 to $500,000.
by 2021.
I think so.
That's.
I think that's their guesstimate.
To me, is like, that's crazy.
I think
crazy
that's a little
speculation.
I think that's a little out there.
Yeah.
Within the 12 months, I think that's pretty extreme. I mean, we're talking about that would what 7-8 trillion market cap. I gotta look at it to be sure, but that is insane.
Bitcoin is here to stay. It's going to go all time highs. 5
It's
to
at
10
all
years.
time high right now.
Yeah.
It's at 40,000.
I'm a long on Bitcoin. I want to have some in my
in
portfolio.
5 years. I think it's possible.
400K. Yeah, it's very possible.
Yeah.
But within
Not
this year,
I'm not saying it's impossible, but I wouldn't.
I would say it can double from what it's
think that's-
now. Like if it's around 40 now. I think it can definitely double by the end of the year. 80.
I think it's going to hit 80 by the end of the summer. That's my prediction.
All right, you heard it now. You heard it now. So
In fact, I think by the end of fall, I would say, and I'm going to go out here. I know it's going to sound crazy. I think Bitcoin, and I don't own any Bitcoin for the record as of now, but I think that Bitcoin will be worth over $200,000 a coin.
wow.
By the end, and I'm saying this not to try to make you buy any Bitcoin.
You're just very bullish on the tech.
I think Bitcoin is going to be $200,000 a coin.
I'm a more of a diversified portfolio myself. So,
Yeah.
okay, what do you think about Ethereum?
Ethereum's tough. It's tricky because it hasn't hit all-time highs yet.
All-time high,
And I believe
1,400, 1,500.
1448, 1450, and I think Ethereum will blow through it. Like once it does, I think as of now,
I think by the end of the month,
I think we
it's
were
gonna break it.
about 15% away from all-time highs
Yeah.
right now.
Very close.
And I think once it breaks that resistance and it blows through, I think FOMO is going to kick in. More institutional players are going to look in, and people that are looking at Bitcoin, they're going to see what the heck is Ethereum. And once they learn about that, they're going to become more fascinated and interested in Ethereum. I think end of this year, I think Ethereum easily 4,000 at its peak. I think my number will be so far off with Ethereum's prediction, but upwards. But I would say, and I'm being conservative here because I don't want to. It's like the price is right. I don't want to go too high.
Yeah.
But I think 4,000 or 5,000 with Ethereum. That's my guess. 4,000 or 5,000, and with
By
Bitcoin,
end of year, 2021.
at its apex, yeah.
Okay.
And end of year, and I think Bitcoin, I would say 200, 250,000.
It definitely will break all-time highs by the end of this month. I don't have a new all-time high. I just know that Ethereum is probably going to take over the market cap of Bitcoin eventually.
This year?
Not
No
this
way.
year, just long-term wise.
okay. I
Long-term
was like,
wise.
now that is ballsy.
I'm just thinking like 5 to 10 years, right? 5 to 10 years, because I'm long on cryptocurrency, but not all crypto. Just basically the top two, Bitcoin and Ethereum.
I think Ethereum, I agree with you there. I think Ethereum will one day within our lifetime, take over Bitcoin as a king.
Yeah.
I honestly believe that. I think its market cap will take over. There's just so many developers on Ethereum. And I know a lot of people are talking about other Ethereum killers. Like there's a coin called Polkadot. Polkadot. It's within the top 10 cryptocurrency.
Okay.
I believe is ranked number 7 right now. 8. And Cardano. No, actually Cardano's ranked number 7. Let me look it up.
I thought
Cardano's ranked number 7 right now.
I'm so surprised about Litecoin that it's still on the board. It's crazy to me.
Litecoin's number 6.
Yeah.
Bitcoin Cash surprised me. It's number 5 now. So it overtook Litecoin. Cardano's number 7. Polkadot's number 8. So 7 and 8. The two Ethereum killers are ranked 7 and 8. Wow, Chainlink pressed up too is at 9 and Stellar is 10. With the whole Stellar is a coin similar in a way that it functions with XRP with its purpose, but it's I think it struck a new deal with Ukraine where they're going to use that coin to settle funds and do contracts and whatnot, whatever they're doing there. And a lot of fascinating stuff, man. The world's changing right before our eyes. And I mean, within the top 10 coins, I think you could build a lot of, they're top 10 for a reason.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of speculation, but I think the safest bet right now is Bitcoin and Ethereum. And with everything else, if you want to get into a cheaper market cap coin because you think it's going to give you a higher rate of return, you know, you're at a racetrack and you're picking a horse. You don't know which horse is going to win the race, but one of them will.
Do you think Cardano will have the highest rate of return compared to Ethereum and Bitcoin?
It seems promising.
Mm-hmm.
It seems promising. But it is risky. I mean, as of now, there's nothing out there for Cardano right now that's live. By the end of February 2021, you know, they're supposed to go live and have some things moving. In April, there's something else. And I mean, that's a whole nother segment that, you know, we spend an hour talking about.
I think it's like the ease of buying, right? Also, if it's easy to buy, the more retail investors, like regular investors, are going to be able to purchase these cryptocurrencies.
What's interesting about Cardano is that it's staked. It's, as of today that we're speaking, it's the number one. It's the most decentralized coin. I think with about, almost 70% of the coins that are floating around is staked.
What does that mean? Staked.
So staking is a process of actively participating in a transaction validation. So it's similar to mining or proof of stake in a blockchain. And on these blockchains, anyone with a minimum required balance of a specific cryptocurrencies can validate transactions and earn staking rewards. So when you stake with certain coins, I think Cardano, you could stake your coins and it's not locked up. With Ethereum, you have to stake a minimum of 32. You need to have a minimum of 32 coins in order to stake Ethereum, and you get rewards. So essentially, you get, but it's locked. With Ethereum, is locked. I forget what is the timeline for that, but it's locked for X amount of time, and you get a percentage of your Ethereum back to you, kind of like interest rates.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You earn rewards and
interest.
Yeah.
Maybe this is different, but I've heard that you can have your cryptocurrency still work for you by gaining interest, putting it into the market. So Bitcoin, any cryptocurrency that has value. I think you can use a exchange called CoinFi and basically stake up. I don't know.
But they take a percentage.
Yeah, there was always like a percentage,
you gotta be careful,
like a fee.
It's your money. And you're getting a percentage of rewards from that treasury. And then now you have to pay somebody else for the opportunity to do that when you can go directly and cut out the middleman. You know, sometimes you don't need a middleman. That's what I'm saying. You just do a little bit more homework. But I know that to some people, there's a mental block, and they're just fearful that if they stake it in the wrong way, that coins will disappear because there's so many scams going on.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to be careful.
When I visit these like Facebook groups and with about cryptocurrency, I see so many scams going on.
Or even in the comment section of any YouTube video, or any Instagram post about crypto, someone's always out there like, "Hey, send me 1 Bitcoin and I'll send you back 2. I'm this famous person.
Send me your transaction ID." I'm like, what?
It's wild, man. It's wild, the scams that are out there. I mean, people trying to get in your pockets.
Yeah.
You know, but I do think that the future of money is not paper. I haven't used paper dollars if I don't have to. And you know this. How many years you knew me? Yeah. I never carry cash. Whenever I need cash.
Every time we go out, you're asking me.
Yeah. If we go somewhere and they're like, "Hey, only cash," I'm just like, "Yo, Norm, you spot me a couple of bucks."
Yeah.
You know, I just don't carry cash. I just had this habit of not.
So you're ahead of the game.
And I'm not. I'm a little older too. You look at the young kids. None of them carry cash.
Yeah.
Very rare.
I know a lot of people. Yeah, they use Alipay. They use Apple Pay.
Everything's electronic
on their phone. You know, tap it. That's it.
So I think that's the future of money. I think the future of money is not built in paper. It's built in energy. That's why when I see Bitcoin and Ethereum and other technologies like that, it coincides with the way I see the world moving, and it just makes more sense to me in the way that this new world is developing. And make no mistake, we are moving into a new world.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of futurists are thinking exactly the same thing, where they're thinking like there won't be physical money for transactions anymore. It's going to be all digital.
You know what I think would be next?
What?
I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say that corporations are going to try to find a way to, let's say Bitcoin, for example, have a way that your wallet, because your phone does everything, GPS, whatever, your news cycle, your bank accounts, it has literally everything in there, your notes, whatever you put, your recordings, your videos, your memories,
Your business card.
your whole identity, right? You can know you go through someone's phone, you know everything about them, right? Probably better than they know themselves, right? So I think there has to be a phone, whether it's Galaxy, Pixel, Apple, whoever, they're going to try to create a wallet for Bitcoin or whatever the cryptocurrency, whatever is the king, right? Or the popular one, where it's built into their phone or their ecosystem. So what's great about Apple's ecosystem, what everyone talks about, why it's so hard to leave Apple, because their ecosystem is just incredible, second to none, right? The way their headphones and Siri, well, Siri's not the best, but their home pods and their Mac, and just the way their iMessage especially, and how everything talks to each other, it's amazing. I think, imagine if you had your money in that ecosystem and you wanted to change carriers or change into a Galaxy or a Pixel phone. How difficult would that be? Because you have all your bills and all your payments and all your contacts stored.
You want everything in one place,
right? Where
the ease of use.
Everything's automated,
right? Yeah.
So that if we transition out the company to another company where we have to manually go back and do everything, put in the contacts, put in the electric company, put in,
you gotta sign up your 401k. It's a different company.
Nike, whatever, right? I have to save all my information and my payments and create this new number and all this crap. It's like, damn. And it may not seem like a big deal for just one company, but if you got your friends and your electric bill and your favorite stores all locked in, and it's got your coupons or whatever, however they integrate it, and whoever does that first, I think they're going to win the game in this next phase. I think that's the new breakthrough. I think that's the new breakthrough, where they store your money, because people are what? They're loyal to their money, right? They're not loyal to the company. They're going to be, they are, but they'll be even more loyal to their money. And if your money is tied to their company, that's a whole nother game. Whole nother game. If any company is able to, I think that's the next big thing. You won't be able to leave the ecosystem. You're locked in.
I think it's been happening with Apple Pay, right? Isn't that how
Google Pay, all that, right?
Yeah. So they're connecting to all these other platforms that are being able
building
to
a
use
credit card.
transaction. Yeah.
But it's not a big deal right now. I could leave Apple Pay.
Yeah.
Google Pay. It's not a big deal. And it's like, okay, whatever.
I would be pissed as a consumer. I would be pissed like, I have to use
But if your wallet is in there and everything's set on auto pay and all your contacts are there and it's a one-stop shop. Like right now I'm going everywhere. I'm going to my bank's app and then I'm going to Venmo. It's like, what do you have? Oh, okay, I'll do this. I'll do this. But there's going to be a universal language for money one day around the world. And when we make a trend, the world's getting smaller. If you've been living under a rock, you don't see it. But for those of you that haven't been living under a rock, the world's getting much smaller. We're going to be transacting and making deals on the other side of the world back and forth.
Lightning speed, yeah.
And it's not just going to be these entrepreneurs that are doing it, that are traveling to these countries trying to strike a deal. It's going to be a normal thing where we shop from this vendor in China, Vietnam, Australia, wherever, Canada, right? It's going to be a very normal thing, and there's going to be a universal currency because people are going to want something that's easy, or universal way of paying, instead of going, what's your pay? Is it Alipay? Oh, are you Visa? Are you Master? There's going to be something that's going to tie everything together within our lifetime. And if they're able to incorporate that technology somehow into your phone and simplify this whole system where the computer, everything is there. It's doing all the work behind the scenes, and in front of you is just a simplified way for you to understand that transaction. You don't need to know all the ins and like a car or a computer or the internet. You know, it's way more complicated behind the scenes as an engineer, right?
Yeah.
But in your front cover, all you know is that I step on a pedal and the car moves.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're able to make it that simple, which I believe they will, that's it. It's game over. I'm telling you, cryptocurrencies and the way it just checkmate the whole game. You know, you can't cancel it. It's just the way of the future. It's gonna happen.
It's the moment. It's building that momentum. It's moving towards that future.
It's extremely exciting and
cashless
scary.
society, right? I mean,
it's already happening in several countries.
Right, exactly.
Not
in
just,
Asia, it's a very cashless.
Everyone
society.
pays through WeChat.
Yep, WeChat.
Right, and then what was that country with Akon? Akon has an Akon coin.
That's news. That's
yeah,
news.
yeah.
Is
The
that
Con
Nigeria?
coin?
Is somewhere in Africa?
And they settle everything in cryptocurrencies, everything, and through his coin, right? And even like they'll trade in coins too. Like for example, if his cell phone minutes there, right? I forget which country it was. Slip. It's like on the tip of my tongue, and but they settle like, oh, I'll give you. I need some more minutes on my phone. I'll give you some of, X amount of coins.
Oh,
so
I
they
see.
trade minutes for coins, and so there's different ways of doing it, and that's what I'm saying. There's going to be,
But there's a platform that's created for that trading.
and they're all going to, and what this does is going to cut out all the middlemen in between. So there's this saying, right? If you have to ask for permission for your money, it's not your money. So right now, if you try to make large transactions, you have to get the okay from the middlemen to give you your money back.
Yeah.
So this is essentially cutting it out, and where they make your money work for you 24/7. You don't have to wait 3 to 4 business days for it to clear.
Yeah.
Your money's right there when you ask for it. You make an immediate transaction, and they're going to be able to do smart contracts where you may not even need an agent for a home. You get to look into it, and it'll just transact. It'll have all the literature there in the smart contracts. Voting.
Yep.
They're going to have voting instead of even though this huge debate about voter fraud.
The legitimacy of the vote. Yeah.
Right. That's not even a conversation if you can do everything on a blockchain. That's not even a conversation.
So the technology is there. It's just like, how do we implement it for everyday use?
Like I said, it's going to checkmate the whole game.
Yeah.
It's going to checkmate the whole game. It's going to keep everything honest.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited for that day. I mean, some countries, like you said, are kind of moving towards that direction, and their societies are just moving in a crazy fast pace. While I think the US is a little way behind in terms of adopting something like that. Like even when you look at the MTA, like in different countries, it's already, you can pay to go through the toll with your phone. But in New York City, you can't do that. Yeah. But it's changing with the new the technology that they implemented in the turnstiles, right?
I hope the U.S. gets on it soon because other countries are way ahead of the curve on this.
Yeah.
Well, they got a big head start, and we're kind of just the laggards in this. Yeah. Even though right now, for the average consumer getting into this game, they would be what people call early adopters. But when you look at it from a country standpoint, they would be the laggards because the other, even developing nations, are investing heavily in this. And you would have third world countries at the end of this game be one of the richest countries, probably top 5, top 3 richest countries, if this thing takes off and we don't do something about it.
Yeah.
It's inevitable. So who knows? They may make U.S. citizens, they may give them a discount if you pay in Bitcoin. That's another thing they can do, right?
Yep.
If they say you owe X amount of taxes, we'll give you 20-30% discount on every Bitcoin you give us in order to catch up with the game.
Damn, that's putting a lot of value on cryptocurrency. You get a discount based on the value of fiat.
They may do that because they need more of it. If that becomes the store of value and we have less than other nations, that's not good. That can't be good, can it?
It depends if that's going to take over the crypto space, you know?
I see it happening. It's the technology mainly that's
Yep.
going to drive the currency's worth.
That's more exciting to me than
So it's not the other
value.
way around. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, it's not that it's not that it's $400,000 or $500,000 per Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It's what it does. It's what cryptocurrency does, the application of it.
Yep.
That's going to drive its value.